Hello dearies, welcome back. Raising pagan kids. Should we teach our children paganism? Is that okay? I'd like to share my thoughts on that with you today. Let's jump right into it. Now, my opinion on whether or not parents should teach and expose their children to whatever path it is that the parents happen to be on, I think that yes, we absolutely should be including our children in our spiritual path and how we identify whatever that is. I think though that it's all in the approach, right? That sharing with our children what we think, but being transparent and clear that what we think and how we view this aspect of life is simply that, how we view it. My husband and I are very clear with our son that the way that I think about things and the way my husband thinks about things are completely different, and it's just how we feel. He's allowed to make his own ideas, his own stories, his own path. He's allowed to make up his own mind, and he gets that. He's almost 9. He's going to be 9 in April. They grow so quickly. We do not purposely keep him from any other faiths, spiritualities, religion. So that's absolutely, open conversations happen all of the time. He actually has some really fun ideas. I love actually having theological conversations with my almost 9-year-old. Some of them are pretty enlightening. With all of these theological conversations I have with my kid, he has developed his own views and approaches to the goddess, which are completely different than mine and my husband's. All right, so that's an overview, a little bit of a chat on my views on whether or not we should include our children in our paganism. I do. If that wasn't clear, I think it's important and we absolutely should be sharing this really special part of ourselves with our children. But what about practicality? What are the things we can actively do to actually include our kids in being pagan, whatever that means for you? Here in our house, we actually have 2 family altars. There's one in the living room and kind of like a smaller, more like the auxiliary altar is in the dining room. And that's because I'm kind of altar obsessed. I love altars. I think they mean so much to me, having that physical representation. See more on my image altar if you want. I love altars. My son also has his own altar in his room. Now this is definitely more of a symbolic toy type altar. It's something that my husband and I actually made for him, but my son does have his own altar, and we talk about that and altars and why we have them and what all that entails. Something else that we incorporate into our lifestyle are 2 blessings. We have one for meal times and one for bedtime. Now, it's not like a hard and fast rule that we must say meal blessing at every meal and we do our bedtime blessing every night. It's nothing like that. Although for the mealtime blessing with Sabbats, we do say we do say the mealtime blessing at each Sabbat because obviously it's a special day and we are purposefully honoring the wheel and the goddess. However, on a day-to-day basis, there's no expectation. And for the bedtime blessing, we don't do it so much now, but when my son was younger, we did say it on a fairly regular basis. I would like to share them with you, these 2 blessings. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. I do believe that I did author them myself. However, these are blessings that we've been using since my baby was but a wee squish, and I'm not positive that they are mine. I do want to make sure that the blessings are mine, so I will double check, make sure that there's no plagiarism. If I didn't write them, I want to be able to credit the original authors. So stay tuned. Film at 11. How else do we include our son in our paganism? Well, I guess just living life out of the broom closet. I mean, obviously, I always wear my goddess in triquetra pendant. I have the, ooh wait, can you, my triquetra ink. Just in the house, it's everywhere. You know, the altars, obviously. We have a broom over our door and a triquetra plaque on the wall. The Lillywin Witch's calendar is in the kitchen. And in my last video about what paganism is, you can see it here, I shared that we have the pagan calendar, the Wheel of the Year calendar, and that is also in our kitchen. So those are just the few things off the top of my head about just having pagan things all over the house. We do offer to include him in rituals as well. And reading, oh my gosh. The most fun thing, right? Reading pagan type books to my son. That was probably the first thing I ever did. I'm always looking for books that have pagan-esque themes to them. I'm always looking into supporting the books that are actually for pagan kids. Books for pagan kids is probably a whole nother video topic, so I will do that in the coming weeks. Real quick though, I will link some down below. Puka Pages and Rupert's Tales, that's where I started, so I will link them down below. Not sponsored, just shared information. So I think that's a really good place to stop. I think we covered kind of the bases, and yeah, raising kids pagan, go for it. It's great. So if you liked this video and you had a great time, please give it a like. A subscribe would be fantastic. This is something I'm having so much fun. I want to keep doing it, and I want to help add conversation to this community as a pagan parent. So please subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And again, comment down below with whatever question I asked. What was it? Oh, the blessings. Do you do blessings? What do you do with your kids? How do you include them? Do you include them? Let me know down below. And I will see you next week. Bye, dearies.